Hi there, welcome to day 9 of Vlogmas. I'm Cath, my channel is made by Cath Craft and I'm really enjoying joining in with Vlogmas. So I'm really enjoying making these videos and I'm very grateful for everyone who's watching. So thank you very much for joining in with my Vlogmas. So today it's Thursday, I'm just back from the school run and I've got a few things to share with you. What the elf's been up to. We have a naughty elf in our house, as you'll know if you've watched my previous Vlogmas videos. I've also got to share what I'm wearing and I've got something that arrived in the post yesterday that I'm quite excited about that I'll share in a moment too. But firstly, what the elf was up to. Well, overnight he decided to try to toast some marshmallows using our electric fire. He set himself up on a little Christmas fan and had a pile of marshmallows and he looked very happy there when we found him this morning. I'll put up a picture so you can see. And we turned the fire on for him and dimmed the lights and it looked a very cosy little spot actually. So my children were really excited to find him there and my son was particularly excited because he loves marshmallows. We had a few marshmallows with his breakfast this morning. But that was what Elf was up to. Who knows what he'll be doing tonight. Now what I'm wearing today, it's another fairly chilly day outside, so I've got another cosy layered outfit on. And I am wearing underneath, this is a Chilly in the Buttons Freya top from the Stretch book. One of my favourite patterns, you'll already know if you've seen my previous vlogs. I've just got the plain mock turtleneck neckline style, my favourite version. It's not too tight, so I don't like anything too tight around the neck, so it's a perfect neckline for me. And I've just got it full long sleeve version in this navy blue cotton jersey that I got from Minerva, and I'll link it down below along with any other fabrics I mentioned in this video. And then over the top of it I've got a pinafore which I made using this pattern here. It is the Hinterland dress pattern by So Liberated and it's a pattern I really love. I'll show you the line drawings. There's a few different variations on this pattern. It's basically a dress with a gathered skirt and it's got the button down front. You can either do the buttons just on the bodice or all the way down the skirt. And it's got different sleeve lengths. You can either make sleeveless or a short sleeve or a sort of around the elbow length sleeve. And it's got different lengths as well, like a knee length or sort of midi length or a full length skirt. And the pattern instructions are really great on this one, so it's one I really enjoy sewing. The neckline is finished with bias binding and so are the armholes if you make the sleeveless version, so the finish is really nice. And you can also add pockets and it's designed to be fairly loose fitting, but for my version I've added waist ties. There are optional waist ties you can add on to sort of cinch it in a little bit. But I've made my version as a pinafore. It's quite a wintry one to go over tops like the Freya top. And I made it in this check fabric. And it's a cotton fabric. I think it's a cotton twill because if I come up close you can see the texture. It's got that kind of twill diagonal weave texture. So I think it's a cotton twill. And I got it quite a long time ago from an online fabric shop that has since closed down. But it's really lovely, cosy cotton fabric. And yeah, I just quite enjoy wearing this one. I haven't worn it for ages actually, so it was nice to get it back out of the wardrobe. And I'll put a picture up so you can see how I look wearing it. I've got on my furry DMs there. They're the most cosy boots and I've been wearing them all winter. And yeah, they're really cosy because they're really sturdy, so they're kind of waterproof. Also with the fur inside, it makes them really cosy. And also I think the fur means I can sort of slip them on quite easily in the mornings to get on with the school run. They don't take too long to get on. I remember having a pair of DMs when I was younger that didn't have the fur in them. It used to be a bit of a saga getting them on, but these ones go on really well. So I love those boots. But anyway, in terms of the size range of the So Liberated dress, it goes from a size 0 up to a size 34, so it's a really good size range. And the largest size is for bust of 58.5 inches, waist 52.5 inches, and hips 61 inches. So it's a great size range. And I think for my versions, I've always sized down. So my measurements fit the size 2 for bust and waist, and then up to the size 6 for the hips. But I've always just made the straight size 0. So my measurements are bust 32, waist 26, hips 36. And the size 0 is for bust 31, waist 25, hips 33.5. But because this dress is designed to be oversized and I didn't want it too oversized, I always found it fine sizing down. And I think the hips measurement is also less critical in this pattern because it's a gathered skirt, so there's plenty of room there. But it's a really nice comfy one to wear. I've got a couple of summery Hinterland dresses and it's quite nice having a wintry pinafore style one too. So that's what I'm wearing today. So next I thought I'd show you the item that arrived in the post yesterday that I'm quite excited about. And it is a Christmas knitting magazine and it's this one here. It's a Christmas Knits Book 5 by King Cole and it looks like it's got some really lovely Christmas knitting projects in there, so I'm really looking forward to getting started on some of these projects. You can see on the front there are these knitted mice who look like they're carol singing, and there's a little light you can do in the background, and I think there's also a little knitted tree to go with them, so they're really cute. My daughter's really keen for me to knit those up. But there are some other really nice projects in here too. There's one of the ones I like the look of is this one here, which is making a little string of Santas and snowmen to decorate a mantelpiece, or I think you could hang them up anywhere in the home. I think they look really cute too. But yeah, there's some other really lovely projects too. Oh, and there's some lovely little hanging decorations here. So it's like a little reindeer, and there's a little Christmas tree to put on the tree too. And most of the projects in here are knitted using double knit, which I like because I've got lots of scraps of double knit left over from other projects, so it's nice to be able to use what I already have rather than getting extra. I've got quite a few different colours, so hopefully I should be able to complete some of the projects from this book without buying any new yarn, which is lovely. But yeah, it's King Cole Christmas Knits Book 5. I've got one of their Christmas Knits books before. I got it a few years ago, and it's their book 3. And I bought it for this nativity, and I made that knitted nativity a couple of years ago, and I talked about it in a previous Christmas video. I'll link it in case you fancy checking it out. So I really enjoyed making the nativity, and this year I've actually made a couple more projects from this magazine. I had another leaf through and thought there were a couple of more things I'd like to make. And actually on Saturday I'm releasing a video sharing all my Christmas makes from this year. So there are some Christmassy garments included in that video, and also a couple of Christmassy knitted projects from this magazine. So that'll be up on Saturday if you fancy checking that one out. But yeah, I really love a little small knitting project, and I love knitted Christmas decorations and Christmas items. I think they're really lovely and give a really nice handmade feel to a home. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck in some of these ones that arrived in this book now, so I'm quite excited about that. So now I'll move on to what I've got planned for today. So this afternoon I've got an event I'm really looking forward to. My children's school have invited all the parents to an outdoor carol concert. So it should be really nice. All the children are singing, all the parents are hopefully coming along. The weather looks good, fingers crossed, for an outdoor event. And I think each class is singing a Christmas song, and then the younger years are getting together to sing a group song, and the older years are getting together to sing a group song too. So I'm really looking forward to going along. My son and daughter have both been practicing quite a lot at home, so I've really enjoyed hearing them singing and preparing for it. So yeah, it should be really good. And it'll be really nice to go along because there's no nativity this year because of COVID, and I don't think they want all the parents and the children all in an indoor environment. So this is our sort of Christmassy event. Last year I think they did some online songs, so we didn't even get to go and see them in person. So it is really nice we can get down there and see them in person. And I'm hoping my husband will be able to make it too. I felt a bit bad because I got my dates mixed up, and I got him to block out an hour in his calendar yesterday, thinking it was happening yesterday. So he's had to kind of try and sort of move some calls around today to make it, so I'm hoping it'll work out. And because they're having this sort of special Christmassy day at school, and they're also having Christmas lunch, I think, although my children actually prefer to pack lunch, so they're not joining with the Christmas lunch, but they'll be in the hall enjoying the festive atmosphere still. They're also getting to dress up in a Christmas jumper and generally in sort of non-uniform, so they really enjoy picking their clothes today, and they've each got a Christmassy jumper on. And I took a photo, and my son was quite keen to share it with you, so I'll put them up here. So they both have their Christmassy jumpers on. My son's is a Minecraft jumper because he loves Minecraft, and my daughter's got one with a little Christmassy dog on. And then my daughter's all in ready to wear clothes, but my son is wearing one of the latest pairs of Hudson pants, mini Hudson pants by True Bias that I finished for him, so I was really pleased he was keen to wear those. So it'll be really nice to go along later and see them in their Christmassy outfits singing away. Unfortunately I won't be able to take you along because we're not allowed to film in the school, but I'll tell you a bit about it once we're back. And in terms of what my plans are this morning, well, first, after I finish chatting to you guys, I'm going to go and get a couple of house jobs on. I need to run a wash load because I'm finding at the moment my children's clothes are getting very muddy very quickly, particularly on the scoot to and from school. It's quite wet and muddy at the moment, so I'm definitely going to get that wash load on. But after I've done my jobs, I'm hoping to get a bit of sewing time. And what I'd like to do, first of all, is finish my Jarrah Sweatshirt by Megan Nielsen. So I started that early this week. I cut it out a couple of days ago, started sewing it yesterday. And all I've got left to do is put on the cuffs and the hemband. But before I do that, I need to decide what length I want the sleeves to be and if I want to crop the body a little bit. So I'm going to have a think about that this morning and hopefully get those final bits finished off. So that'll be really nice to have that ready to wear. And then after that, if I've got a bit more time, what I'd like to do is start adjusting my Megan Nielsen Hovea jacket pattern pieces. So earlier in the week, I shared that I just finished the toile of the Megan Nielsen Hovea jacket, and I wanted to make a toile for fitting because I wasn't sure, how the length of the sleeves and the body would be, and I wanted to make sure it was all just right before I started cutting into my popper fabric. So I've now decided, thanks to everybody who gave their thoughts as well, that I'm definitely going to lengthen the jacket by the full 1.5 inches at the bottom. I think that'll give a really good length. So I need to now get altering the pattern pieces to lengthen them all by the 1.5 inches so that it's then ready for me to cut the actual proper fabric out. So I'll hopefully pop on a little bit later and share my progress. And in the meantime, I'll just share a little bit of the journey to school. My son was quite keen to have you follow him a little bit on the way to school. So I'll say bye now and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Hello, I thought I'd pop on now as I've just finished sewing up my Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweatshirt. I'm really happy with how it turned out actually. So all I had to do was add on the cuffs and the hemband like I mentioned. In the end I decided to leave the sleeves the same length. I didn't crop anything off, and I think I'd originally added 1 inch to the pattern piece. So yeah, these sleeves are 1 inch longer than the pattern and I quite like the slightly longer length. And for the body I decided to take off 1 inch in the end just to make it a little bit more cropped, because I quite fancied to change from my last Jarrah I made. So I think I'd originally lengthened the body by 1.5 inches. So now by taking off 1 inch, it takes it to 0.5 inch longer than the pattern. But I'll stand up and show you in a moment, but I thought I'd mention sizing too, because I don't think I mentioned sizing before when I was talking about this pattern and this sweatshirt I was sewing. So I have made the size 0 of this pattern, and that is designed for bust 32, waist 24, hips 34 inches. And I'm a bust 32 inches, but my waist and hips measurements are slightly larger. But it's quite a boxy, oversized sweatshirt, so I find going with my bust measurement has been absolutely fine. There's still plenty of room at the waist and hips. So I'll show you how it looks like now. I've got a pair of jeans on because I think I generally wear this sweatshirt with a pair of jeans. So I wanted to check out the length as it looked with a pair of jeans. So yeah, I'll stand up and show you how it looks now. So I really like it. I'm really happy with the length. It's really cozy to wear actually, so I think it'll be a great one to get out in winter. And yeah, just glad to have it sewn up now. I think it's good actually I'm doing Vlogmas, because if I wasn't, I might have procrastinated for a few more days before deciding on the length. But because I've been talking about it with you guys, I thought, no, I'm going to get on with it and show you how it looks. So it's all done now. So I think now I am going to make myself a cup of tea and then have a go of lengthening the pattern pieces of the Hovia jacket to add on the full 1.5 inches. So I'll do that now and I will catch up with you in a little bit. Bye! Hello, I'm back again now. As you can see, I've changed back into the outfit I'm wearing today, and I've just finished lengthening all the pattern pieces for my Hovia jacket. So I've lengthened the sleeve piece by 1.5 inches, as you can see there, which I'd always planned to lengthen it by that amount. And then I've lengthened the main body pieces, again by the 1.5 inches. And then I've also lengthened the pocket pieces too, by the 1.5 inches. And I think that'll work really well for the pockets actually, because I did notice on the trial version the pockets were quite shallow, and it might have been a slight concern that things might have fallen out. But I think by lengthening by 1.5 inches, it'll make the pockets a lot more practical. So that's another benefit of lengthening that pattern piece and lengthening the jacket generally. So I think I'm all ready now to start cutting out my jacket. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'll start by cutting out the lining fabric first, because I think it should be an easier job. With the main fabric, it's got this grid print on, and I want to make sure I pattern match it as well as I can. So I think it'll require a bit more concentration to cut that one out. But the lining hasn't got a particular pattern I need to match, so it should be an easier job to cut that one out. And I think once I've cut the lining out, it'll hopefully give me a bit of momentum and then encourage me to get on with cutting the main fabric out. And then I can start sewing, which is obviously the fun part. So that's really good. I'm glad I've got that job done. So now I've got a few house jobs to do. I need to tidy up the washing stuff, a couple of other bits. And then I'm going to head out with my husband, he can make it, so thankfully, to the outdoor concert at the school. And we're really looking forward to that. And actually, the sun has come out, so it's really nice. It's a really nice day for it. So it shouldn't be too chilly in the playground for us or the children. So I'll leave you now and I will come back a little bit later after the concert and let you know how it went, and our plans for the rest of the day. So I'll see you later. Bye! Hello, we're all back from the outdoor Christmas concert now. It was a really lovely event, definitely gave me some festive cheer. There was quite a mixture of songs, some I knew and some I didn't know, and all the children looked really happy singing, which was really nice. Both my son and daughter looked really happy and they saw us in the crowds and we got to wave, so it was really nice. But we're all a bit tired now, so I've done my son and daughter some dinner. We had a bit of time writing some Christmas cards first for their friends at school, and now they're having a bit of quiet time with their dinner. And I'm going to go and make my husband and my dinner now too. We always eat early on Thursdays because my son has cubs tonight, and it's his last cubs of the year actually, and they're having a Christmas party which should be jolly. But because we're sort of ferrying him back and forth to the scout hut, we either have to eat quite early or quite late. So we usually choose to eat early. So I am going to go and make us dinner in a moment, and I'll show you a sneak peek of what we're eating. We're having salmon for dinner tonight with sweet and white potato mash and some vegetables, and the vegetables include some runner beans that we grew in the summer in our garden, and then I've kind of cut them up and frozen them, and then we eat them through the winter. And it's quite nice because seeing those runner beans does remind me of the lovely summer weather when we were growing them. Yeah, which is quite nice to remember now, given that it's gone a bit kind of gloomy and cold. Although actually this afternoon the sun did shine for the concert, so we were quite lucky. So I'm going to go and cook our dinner now, and then I'll pop back on in a little bit. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hello, we've had our dinner now, and my son and husband are getting ready to head out into the cold and make the journey to the scout hut for my son's cubs Christmas party. Usually my husband and I each do one of pick up and drop off, so my husband's dropping off tonight and then I'll be going out to pick my son up a bit later. So I'm planning on heading upstairs with my daughter, and I'll do her bath and her bedtime story and get her settled down in her room. And I think I'm also going to change out of my day clothes into some cosy loungewear and get a bit comfy, ready for an evening, probably doing a bit of knitting or something like that. So I'll leave this video here. Thank you so much for watching another day of my Vlogmas, and I'll be back tomorrow for Friday, day 10 of December. I can't believe December is going so fast. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!